Morning, guys. So last night it was late and I was finishing up an email sequence, and I always leave the subject line of the email for last. It's my favorite part, and often I find that I have to write the whole email before I know exactly what the right subject line is. So the client I was ready for is a med spa. Excuse me, it's early. And the med spa offers Botox. So there's a series of emails that encourage people to call and book an appointment for a free consultation, which I love. I love the idea of a free consultation, as long as you're targeting correctly in order to attract the kind of buyers and people that want to spend on your services. So the theme of the email was that Botox gets a bad rap for making people look like statues. You know that kind of misconception that if you get Botox, you're gonna look like you won't be able to move your forehead, or that your face is frozen in a smile. When in reality, when you see pictures of that on tabloids, it's botched plastic surgery, not Botox. Botox is actually a very natural looking injectable if you have the right person doing it. Now, I don't know this, I have never had Botox, disclaimer. So this is just what my research has told me and the experts that I have talked to, and been in contact with some of the top Botox providers in certain states of the union here. So I knew that was going to be the topic of this email, and I got to the end. I got to this time when you sit down and you decide, okay, what am I going to make the email subject line? Because let's just be real, that is what gets the click. If you want someone to open your email, the first thing they see is the email subject line, and if that's not good, they will just keep scrolling by. Now, I know sometimes you can go with the super straightforward, this is what this email says type of summary statement. I don't really do that unless it's a very serious industry, or like a really serious call to action that they've already been nurtured into through previous emails. When it's something that's more story form, more come along on a journey with me, like these emails were, I like to use something a little bit more creative. And one of my favorite tactics is surprise. So I like to stick something in the email subject line that they don't expect. So what I wrote for this particular subject line was, some things should be immovable. Your face isn't one of them. So they're going to recognize the sender, and they're going to know it's from the med spa. They're going to know that they have received several emails over the past week already from them about Botox. So they're going to be in the area where reading that, it's going to hit them. It's going to strike them as funny. Like, okay, all right, tell me more. So I love coming up with the right subject line for that. So using surprise, using something unusual or something attention grabbing is a really great strategy. Another one of my favorite strategies for getting the open on an email subject line is to not close the loop. So what do I mean by closing the loop? Closing the loop is where you raise and answer the whole subject of the email right there in the subject line. So I could put a subject line that says Botox looks completely natural. Okay. Why would they read the email now? They already know what you're going to tell them, right? By not closing the loop, you're leaving room in there for them to want to know more. So if I was to take the same email about how Botox looks natural and open the loop in the subject line, I might make the subject something like, your face should never look like this. I opened a loop, look like what? What shouldn't my face look like? Does my face look like that right now? what do I need to know about this? So that's a great way. And then inside the body of the email, you tell them exactly what you mean by my face should not look like this. So those are two of my favorite strategies for interesting email subject lines that get people to open the emails and start reading. It's definitely something that you want to put a little thought into, but it doesn't have to be hard. So just remember, if you're struggling to know what subject lines to use for your emails, don't fall back on the old standard tell them what's in the email necessarily. Try using an open loop. Try using something surprising or unusual. Some of my personal emails, I don't get to see the stats on all of my clients' emails, but I do watch my personal emails. And some of the ones that have the best open rates are the ones with the most unusual, random subject lines. It works. People want to know what's inside. This same principle can apply also to Facebook ad subject lines, but I like to use that more in the first line of the copy. That idea of opening the loop or using the unusual statement in the first line of the copy. For a Facebook ad, that's what they see first, is that first line of the copy. It's not the headline below the image, no matter what people say. I know there's an ad out there that's saying first you read this, then you read this. I actually don't think that's true. I think first people, as you scroll, you see that first line of text, first couple lines of text before you even see the image. So don't fall victim to that. It's the first couple lines of text that will hook people. So make sure those openers, the email subject line, the ad openers, the top of the ad copy text are going to catch their attention. Thanks, guys. Have a great Wednesday.